Hi everyone, here I am at the closing moments of the ATD ICE 2017 in Atlanta, Georgia. You can see behind me the closing down of the expo hall that the expo closed probably about only an hour ago. It's amazing the speed at which these stands are taken down, but in its full glory it was quite spectacular. It's been quite an amazing event here as always. The team have done a fantastic job at pulling together a lot of international visitors, a lot of local visitors, lots of learning. I wanted to share with you some of my key highlights. And where to start, in fact. I'm checking my notes here. I've been note-taking away. I will of course be running a webinar sharing some of the highlights in a bit more detail when I get back. Some of my key learnings have been around machine learning, adaptive learning, analytics, how this is going to be impacting our learning now and in the future. Went to a session by Skillaletics, which really kind of opened my mind as to different learning pathways and how machines and machine intelligence and directing people based on the way that they answer questions, the way that they're learning, the time it takes them to answer a question. This is all of course around e-learning and online. One of the other big trends, I was hearing great things about an UMO platform for micro-learning, so there was a lot of information about next level micro-learning. I went to a fantastic session about ethics and really the way that we have global ethics across the world, across our organisations, and how difficult it is to train ethics and some of the interesting dilemmas faced in training ethics itself. So that was another fantastic, really fascinating session. Sessions around the way that robotics are influencing the workforce. So I learned about a hotel in Japan that has a whole workforce of robots and only the managers are human. I've got a link to that. So again, come to the webinar where I'm sharing more about my learnings from ATD. Let me just see if there's any other highlights I need to share with you. As I check down at my notes here, this is very much a solo thing. Everyone else is just heading down the hallway to the final keynote. And of course, many of the readers of my blog will be really into learning transfer. I've learned more about chatbots, and that's certainly a key trend that we're seeing coming through. And also I went to a fantastic session with Michael Kim around habits and how we can ingrain habits and actually empower people that they then have control over their own habits and behaviours, which of course has a knock-on effect for learning transfer and behaviour change. Lots more talk around learning transfer and behavioural change this year, which has been sensational. And the keynotes, yes, can't close without mentioning the keynotes. So we had Mark and Scott Kelly, who are very, very famous to Americans, it turns out. Bless them, they're astronauts. One of them had spent over a year in space, so they talked about their learnings and their journeys to how they got there. We had Kelly McGonigal talking about stress and the positive effects that stress can have on the body and how we can embrace stress and learn through that. And we also had a great short presentation from the chairman of the board from ATD, who was talking about the way that organisations transform and the role that learning has in organisations transforming. So I'll leave this thought with you, with the future of work, with automatisation, adaptive learning, and the way the world is changing, then learning can get even more involved because people will have to learn, people will have to change to live in this world that we developing and creating into. So guys, I hope that snapshot has entertained, as we can see the expo being pulled down in the background, but I really look forward to sharing some more insights with you on the webinar that will be coming up and coming, and we will of course let everyone know those dates and times. Best wishes everyone here from Atlanta, Georgia, and I think next year's ATD ICE is in San Francisco, 6th to 8th of May, if my memory serves me correctly. So let's hope we can have more global colleagues coming in to join us then in San Francisco. Best wishes everyone.